Okay, so I was stopped abruptly by the system. Yeah, like I said, it limits up to 15 minutes only. Okay, so back to the Rana Plaza disaster, Sabre Bangladesh. Yeah, um, so the world demand for cheaper stuff like us. I love cheap stuff. Who doesn't love cheaper stuff? Okay, good bargain, right? But unfortunately, the pursuit of profit, okay, a good profit, is at the expense of the poor souls or cheap labor in Bangladesh, which cost them their life. Okay, but thankfully, um, they have taken how to say, um, following the incident, the local authorities and stakeholders, yeah, they have taken measures or steps to strengthen the occupational and safety health, yeah, and also they have also made amendment to the labor code, okay, and they have also given hefty compensation or support for dependent or family members who have lost their breadwinners. Okay, you have to remember some of them, they work, they are still children, underage children. They've been working as breadwinners for their family members. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to terrorism. Okay, so the second aspect is terrorism. Now, terrorism has existed in the past, okay, for centuries, right? It's not something new, right? But when we talk about terrorism, although it has been around for centuries, yeah, we're going to talk about the implications of terrorism, okay? What happened after terrorism? If you remember the September 11, okay, that occurred in United States of America, everyone remembers that, okay? What happened after that, right? Field of organization communication can contribute to debates about terrorism. How do terrorism networks organize and communicate? What communication system can best ensure security of borders? How can we prevent fear of terror becoming fear of each other? And from the textbook itself, it says that the impact of terrorism, there are two implications, which are, first, war on terror. Okay, what is war on terror? It's an international military campaign launched by the US government after the September 11. And secondly, is the emerging of homeland security. Okay, so are we learning to become a terrorist? No, but the government, their basic concern is they want to understand how the terrorist networks and organizations work. Because if you're the bad guy, either bad or good guys, we do have system, we do have structure when we work, right? So we want to know how they work. So they'll be looking at the networks from interconnections through technology and interpersonal contact. Okay? Now, taking a military as example, okay? As organizational communicators, we must be cognizant or aware of the complex communication process involved in military actions, bureaucracy, and complexities of dealing with military personnel, their families during and after their service. Okay, if we are working with the military, not only we are dealing with our staff, we have to deal with their family members as well. Because they'll be asking us if anything bad happened to our family members or their family members who went to the war, okay, on behalf of our states, of our country, beloved country. If they die in the war, they deserve to know why. They deserve some explanation. We need to console them. We need to offer them something and compensation and whatnot. Okay? So that is what we need to do as organization communicators. Okay? And then what's next? It says here, set of strategies that involve the use unpredictable violence against individuals to create fear, suspicion among large groups of people. It can be perpetrated by individuals, groups, nation states, and regimes. And how can we best make decisions post 9/11? How can communication system be designed to enhance well-being of first responders? So first responders, what we meant is under Homeland Security. Okay, look at the definition: a function of the government in which effective organization, rules and procedures, new technology and education are used to assist federal agents, local police, National Guard troops, private security guards, first responders, medical personnel, public health officials, and individual citizens to deal with terrorism, natural disasters, and other threats to the nation's security. Okay? So the implication of the war on terror for organization communication also include complex political negotiation with wide a range of entities and individuals. Okay, for example, okay, if you are part of the United Nations officers, okay, case in point will be my dad, okay, who worked with the United Nations back in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he dealt with Abu Sayyaf group, okay. With the right communication strategies, he managed to negotiate with the leader, okay, on certain issues, yeah, which failure in that negotiation will lead to a kind of like a turf war between Mindanao Armed Forces and Abu Sayyaf group. Okay, now you see how important is the organization communication skill is, the understanding of it. Okay, meaning to say, when we deal with one issue, if you're working in under an organization, you just don't deal with one person. You just don't deal with your staff alone. You are dealing with the extended entity beyond or surrounding your staff. Her family members, her colleague, her friends, her network, and whatnot. Alright? So, getting back to terrorism. So now, next to climate change. We still have time to cover everything? Yes. The role of climate change, it says here, changes in worldwide climate, typically reflected by warmer temperatures and stormy weather, they are resulting from the activities of individuals and organizations. Field of organizational communication can contribute to debates about climate change. How can organizations reduce or eliminate contribution to global warming? And how can government representatives engage in productive debate about climate change? Now, the role of organizational communication in climate change and global warming is widespread, due to the human factors since the beginning of industrial revolution, such as our systems of energy production, factory manufacturing, petrol fuel, transportation, and whatnot. So, what are our roles in this? Now you'll be thinking. Jangan pening dah, dah pening dah. Tadi, just now we talk about globalization, and now we move on to terrorism. Climate change pula, So what are our roles in this? Okay, so the industrial organization, play the vital roles in searching for ways. When I say industrial organization, I mean those manufacturing companies who manufacture things, which contributes to a lot of pollutions around us. Okay, so they play the vital roles in searching for ways to reverse or at least slow the process of climate change. So in short, it involves the representation of ideas about climate change to the general public. For example, there exist companies who promote go green, use all recyclable materials for the sake of protecting the planet. Okay, there exist companies like that, but like the company like industrial organization who produce pollutions every day, yeah, they might not be thinking about using all recyclable materials, right? But the least they can do, how to minimize it, how to minimize the damage to the planet. Okay, for instance, perhaps like what we are doing in UMK or in your organization. Can you think of any example or any companies that have practiced this in Malaysia? Yeah, for instance, this is taken from the Sun. Yeah, the green team, they said eat more plants, cut food waste, turn down heating. And like in UMK, they said during lunch hour, turn off all electricity. If not in use, turn it off. Okay, the AC, the light, yeah, the fan or whatever, turn it off. Okay, so here you see campaign kesedaran pengurangan penggunaan elektrik dan air is one of the ways, right? And what else? Like I saw this campaign in a hospital, yeah, in GH. They said use stairs instead of lift. Okay, right? Not only you can reap the health benefits, yeah, you can also reduce some, I don't know, like pollutions. Okay. Now, changing demographics. For changing demographics, it says here, characteristic used to describe the population. It includes things like age, race, you know this already, right? Education and attainment, yeah? They are often used to describe changes in the population over time. This is something very basic, you know? But we are talking about, when we talk about changing demographics in terms of organization communication, is we are looking at the structure needed, yeah, for decision making, payrolls, customer service, training, yeah, and other functions, because it's becoming more complex because we're dealing with levels of people backgrounds and whatnot, you know. Okay, it's getting very complex. Hold on. Right, to make it easier, let's have a look at this. Now, okay, how to communicate with members of culturally diverse workforce. How can sandwich generation cope? Sandwich generation, it refers to a group of people between the age of 40 to 50 who are looking after their children. At the same time, they are looking after their elderly parents, you know, finance them, you know, finance the elderly parents and also the children. So that's what we call sandwich generations. And what are communication patterns of age groups and how to use technology for virtual workplaces, taking into account different backgrounds and whatnot, yeah? And age group also, how to support an aging Malaysia, what role does communication play in creating a level playing field for those with disabilities, okay? So, according to Carl Wick's theory, yeah, of organizing, it says here this concept suggests that successful organization and groups need to be as complicated as the problems that confront them. Okay, having said that, he gave an examples like organizational structure of a small cafe versus large cafe chains like Starbucks, Costa Coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, Flora Jeans, Mac Cafe is definitely different because you'll be dealing with multiple issues, multiple problems, because in terms of decision making, payroll, customer service, training, and whatnot. Okay, and so the takeaways is communication is about the creation of meaning system in families, cultures, understanding a market segment to enhance, increase sale, and the multiple ways information must flow to provide aid when a natural disaster strikes. Framing information about a possible threat to the public is so the public is warned and but not panic. Coming to an understanding within a community about issues that both unite and divide. Right? So this is the theory of communication. It's in the book. Study well. I'll see you later.